Kahm Broham, Andrew Rogers here for another episode of Rogers Rules. I'm sorry. Things got a little bit chaotic there over the last 2 weeks following the Pinnacle Bank Championship, but we're back in the chair and ready to go. And we'll do a little explaining because that's what you have to do when you kind of go off grid for a little while.
Ghosty, yeah.
So I'm coming back with the explanation. After the Pinnacle Bank Championship, we were all set to go the following week, and poof, just the cards didn't align for Cam and I. My schedule didn't match with his schedule, and all of a sudden it was Thursday, and we were like,
wait, weren't we supposed to do something?
We just missed the entire week. So let's restart again next week. I think we'll be okay. The following week, well, there was this big event called the Schick Nick live show, which Cam is repping, and he was also reffing that show.
Yeah.
Let's just say the cards didn't align once again. The stars were all over the place, but we couldn't find each other. I was over by the Big Dipper. Cam was out by Leo, and it just was like our telescope couldn't pick each other up. So here we are 2 weeks later, ready to deliver another episode of Rogers Rules because I know that you've been itching for the excitement, the energy, and the entertainment, and we're bringing it now.
And also, there's stuff about to go down this week. It is the perfect time to return because there's a lot on the plate.
There's plenty to talk about. There's plenty that I've wanted to get to that we will bring to this episode. And then when we land once again on Thursday, it's college football weekend.
Yeah, buddy.
And that's what we are going to be diving heavily into, especially Husker coverage, because I guess the worst kept secret in all of Nebraska, Dylan Raiola is the starting quarterback. We'll talk about that on Thursday. We'll also go down the roster, the depth chart, if you will, because that was released today. And we will show who is where, essentially, from offense, defense to special teams. And that will all happen on Thursday. We'll also get into maybe a little bit of college football playoff predictions as we are getting into the extended playoff. So who is likely to be there? Who are your unlikelies? We will do a little bit of that because it was top heavy, especially in the ACC. And then all of a sudden, Florida State lost to Georgia Tech this weekend, a game that they should not have lost. And now it's like, well, that team was our favorite out of the ACC. So who's next? We'll talk a little bit about that on Thursday. But for this episode, I kind of wanted to regroup in a way. Last week, I had something big happen to me. I auditioned to be the new in-game host of the St. Louis Blues.
Nice.
I was one of 5 guys there. They're hiring one guy. There were 4 ladies there as well. I'm assuming they're going one of each. I don't know why they would do 5 guys, 4 girls if it weren't for that reason. But to kind of break it all down, it's crazy because I've done this for so long. Like I've been the face of, interviews for Hurrdat Sports. I've been the face for a baseball organization in St. Louis in terms of in-game hosting. I did it with Omaha Hockey, with the Mavericks. I did it with a bunch of other sporting events. But going to this audition, it all kind of like hit me in the weirdest of ways, and my stomach was in like a twister, if you will. I got butterflies, and I'm like, man, this is weird. I don't normally like get anxious about situations like this. But I got to the audition, and I actually think that hindered me a little bit. It was one of those where you're standing with your first like guest, like your contestant for the first game. And like, it's like when you dream about being the star of a theater production and then you forget all your lines.
Yeah.
Like that's how I felt in that moment. And I'm like, I've done this so many times. I've done so many puck shuffles in my life. And I underestimated the video length I ran out of things to say, and because of the butterflies, because of the anxious feelings, I really did blow the first game.
Oh man.
So that one hurt because now I really had to be on my A game. Like I had to recover well for 2 and 3.
And I will say this, like I've had this thrown at me as a piece of advice from people I've worked with over the years too, because I'm a little bit older than you. So if you're not nervous about it, then you're not in the right place. If it's just old hat and you can do it with your eyes closed, then you're definitely, you need to move on and figure something else out. So I think you got to use those butterflies to your advantage.
Right.
And I think in that situation, so do you get a second shot at it? Second, two?
So I don't know. I haven't heard back yet. And I don't know if anybody's heard back. Those auditions happened last Wednesday.
Okay.
And I'm not saying they need a week to decide, but maybe they do. The season's up. It's approaching.
Yeah.
Hockey starts. Is it middle of September? Is preseason hockey?
2-3 weeks out.
So, and I may have my months wrong. It may be middle of October. It's beside the point. They need to hire somebody soon. So when I recovered well on the other two bits, let's call them bits.
Mm-hmm.
One was a complete ad lib. Like the whole thing was an ad lib. I think I 95%ed that one. Like pretty darn close to perfect. The last one was a side-by-side. You did it with a co-host, so you did it with another woman that was there. And I thought I nailed the energy and enthusiasm of that one too. We also got to meet with the judges, the panel, for about 5-10 minutes afterward. And I crushed those interviews. Like those things are like my forte. And they asked some pretty hard questions, but I'm very personable. So that helps me in those moments to kind of like get down to their level and not try to take myself too seriously. And in that, I also said, I wasn't happy with my first hit. I said I underestimated the video length. When I left, when I stepped back outside for the second cycle of things, I actually thought about how I could be better. And I said, and I came with examples. I said, I should have said something like, fans, pay attention too, because Danita may need your help all said and done. Or something like, wow, Danita, they're showing you the puck a lot throughout this shuffle. The guys upstairs must really take a liking to you. Those type of things hopefully got across to them as, oh, that was just like a weird thing. Like that's
he knows what he's doing.
Right.
Just the butterflies.
So I'm still in the wait and see mode. I sent the follow-up email. I'm hanging around. I'm still very anxious day to day, just hoping that I get a message that says congratulations. I said this a lot. I don't know if I meant this a lot beforehand, but I said I am just so honored to have the audition, and no matter what happens, it just feels good to be wanted for this. Yeah, I can say that all I want. I want this. Like I really, really freaking want this.
Yeah, that'd be awesome for you, man.
So I got a little busy with that last week too. So it just kind of adds into the Cam and Andrew's schedule just wasn't matching up the way that it should. So I'll take ownership of that. Cam will take ownership of that, but we're back and excited to be with you. Now, the things that I wanted to get to, and I'll label these and then we'll go into them categorically. Backyard sports is back.
Big time.
Cam, you've never played backyard sports.
I never did. It looks like it's a computer game. Is that correct?
It's a computer game. It was my childhood computer game because it was backyard soccer, backyard baseball, backyard football, backyard basketball. They had them all. Right? They had all the primary sports, and I played them all. Baseball was elite. That was the best game. And then it probably went soccer, and football and basketball were like interchangeable.
Yeah.
Like they could be really good. They could be really bad. Football probably had the edge. I should give football the edge in that. But baseball, nothing came close to it. The guys in the game, 2001, Cal Ripken Jr., Mark McGuire, you had all of the big dogs from the early portions of my childhood. Then you go into like 2005 when the game when the game shut down. That game had Alex Rodriguez, which I think he was also in the 2001 game. Derek Jeter. You had like a ton of
Maybe Sosa was in there.
Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Sammy Sosa, Ken Griffey Jr. Like these guys are my childhood baseball heroes, just all put together in one game. And then you had the GOAT of all GOATs, Pablo Sanchez. Have you ever looked up Pablo Sanchez before? Pablo Sanchez.
I did today because I was like, what the heck is he talking about? I had to do some research. I watched a couple 24-minute videos of people just playing the game. Like, oh, yeah, okay, Pablo Sanchez is the man.
He is not only the man, he is the one. He's the smallest kid on the field, but he absolutely rakes.
With a little beer belly sticking out. Yeah.
He's by far the best. He's like got a crop top because of that beer belly. Yeah. And happy belated birthday, Pablo Sanchez. That happened last week.
That's off the chart, too.
Pablo, backwards hat. This kid, he was the number one pick. You had every MLB player that you could have taken, but you take Pablo because he's the best player in the game.
Yeah. You stack your 1, 2, and 3 with your MLB pros, and then Pablo comes in with the grand slam. That's how you set that up.
Seriously, he's got speed. He's a 5-tool player. Pablo Sanchez may take your girlfriend. You never know. Like he is Mr. Steal Your Girl.
Yeah,
he's that type of guy. If you're excited for the Backyard Sports to return, hit us up in the comments. We'd love to see your reaction as well because I'm thrilled.
Well, now correct me if I'm wrong. I read a couple of things in my research. It seemed like I know that Jason Kelsey and Travis on their podcast, they had brought it up that they just were big fans of the game.
Mm-hmm.
I know that he's not affiliated with this resurgence, but more so just the fact that he brought it back to the ether and like, hey, everybody, remember that game? And then somebody's like, oh, we should bring that back.
Yeah,
and
we should dupe it.
Here we are. Yeah.
I cannot wait to see what they come up with. It's just like
brothers doing it again.
It's just like college football coming back.
Yeah.
It's a very nostalgic game that is going to take me away from my wife even more, and she's not going to be happy. And that's how the world revolves. That's just how we do it. Cam, now for you, because you didn't play Backyard Sports, what would you consider your game of nostalgia?
I mean, I'm about 40, so I was a regular Nintendo NES kid.
I thought you were going to say Pong.
No, I didn't I was just after Pong was when I had consciousness to play video games.
So NES, Duck Hunt?
Definitely Duck Hunt, definitely Mario 1 for sure. I didn't get too much in Mario 3. There was a little bit of Zelda, like original gold, the gold case Zelda, and then Gauntlet.
Never heard of it.
But you see, they have it at regular video game arcades now, where you can. It's like a login situation where you can take your game with you and restart every time. But the NES version was like you're a barbarian. There's an archer. There's a wizard, and there's something else. And you just go through levels and try to figure out these puzzles to get through levels. You're killing goblins and demons.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm seeing what you're saying,
and it's a great little game. Little portals taking you all over the place and stuff. So those were the big ones that I had for NES, and then I got a Sega, and I'm like, oh yeah, Sonic's my dude. All those. I played Monopoly with my dad on Sega, which was weird. He actually figured out
memory.
What?
I said good memory.
Yeah, and he would buy up all the houses, and then he wouldn't let me buy any houses. He wouldn't transfer me to hotels because there's only an allotted amount of houses in the game. And I'm like, Dad, buy some hotels so I get some houses. He's like, nah, dude. I'm like, all right.
You're just gonna keep paying me.
Instead of flipping the table, I just shut it off. I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah, you just knocked over your king and said, fine, you win.
Yeah. Thanks for buying me the Sega. Guess who doesn't get to play anymore? You.
Oh man, the last time I played Monopoly wasn't even the board game. It was an electronic version, as you said.
Like a handheld?
Dave and Buster's. No. You sit down at the arcade and you spin the wheel. You get, I don't know, is it 9 turns, 9 spins, and you try to accumulate tickets by buying, as you said, buying houses, trying to turn things into revenue. It's fun. I have a lot of fun playing it. It's different because it's the arcade version, and it doesn't take 10 hours to win the game, but it's a good time. Monopoly is, if we're talking about board games that rest at the king of the hill, Monopoly is up there. Monopoly is by far one of the best board games of all time.
For sure. That's a family favorite. When
And if
people play nice, you got to play nice. Otherwise, it's like, flipping tables. But yeah, Sorry is great.
Sorry's a good one. I'm looking at a list right now from the New York Times.
Oh, nice. Yeah, tell us about the best board games.
You are looking at. Oh my! Don't put Risk on this list. Come on, what are we doing? Risk? There's no way, right? See, this is a poor list because it's not like a true list. It's people. I hate opinions. I'm not looking for I'm not looking for 30 people's opinions. I'm looking for one list.
Stats.
All right, here we go. Let's look at the 32 best family board games according to Wired.com.
Okay, I trust Wired.com. They always give me good
This
lists.
is not doing it. It's not doing it for me either.
Not doing it?
No. What do we? This list is just telling me what to buy.
Huh.
All right, now I'm going to put of all time in the search bar.
Got to do it.
Because I'm curious to know where people rank Monopoly. Okay. This is fun.com, the best-selling board games of all time.
There we go. That's the list we need.
What would you think 1 and 2 are? They are very similar games.
And they're not Monopoly?
Monopoly is 3rd on this list.
Weird. What's a more popular game of all time than Monopoly?
Yeah, this is
like chess and checkers.
Chess and checkers. Yeah.
Like we got to go way back into these games have been around for hundreds of years. Okay,
yes.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Chess is number 1. Checkers is number 2. Chess, 3 million plus sold yearly in the U.S. Yearly.
Wow.
Checkers is 50 billion units all time.
Wow.
That's crazy.
How hard are people on their chess and checkerboards?
I have no clue, but
they must destroy them.
If you think about it, everybody has one.
Yeah.
Like every family household that you've gone into, if there's a game section, chess and checkers are in there.
Definitely. And one side or the other,
Monopoly is 3rd on the list. Scrabble comes in at 4th. Let's see if you can round out the top 10 here, Cam. Try to get me 5 to 10.
All right. So I said sorry, right? That's got to be in there.
Sorry is not on this list.
No? Candyland?
Candyland is 9th.
Candyland's in there. What else is there?
One of these board games is also a movie.
Battleship?
That is correct. And so I guess there's 2 board games in here that are movies. Number 5's a movie.
I don't know what that one is, but I just thought of Mousetrap. Is Mousetrap in there?
Mousetrap is...
That was the game you always put together, but you never really played. It was mostly
not on this list. Yes. But I did mention Risk. Risk is 15th on the list.
Okay.
Number 5 is a murder mystery game.
Murder mystery game. Oh, Clue.
Clue.
Yeah.
Clue is number 5 on this list. 7 is... It's a game that has a pinwheel that is multicolored.
Trivial Pursuit.
That is correct.
Yep.
And then you got 2 more. Pictionary is 13th on the list.
Okay. I think I found your list.
Oh goodness.
I'm not looking. So I see Rummikub, Cranium, Othello, Catan. I played Catan.
Okay.
One time, but Othello, that's like the black and white.
That is correct.
Kind of checkersy thing.
Yep. Yin and yang.
Rummikub. What's Rummikub?
I don't know what Rummikub is. It looks like cards.
Okay.
I've never played that game. Backgammon is number 8 on this list.
Backgammon is my jam.
Backgammon's fun.
I will challenge anybody at backgammon.
Well, I won't win, but it's fun.
That's what I'm saying.
So that is your top 10. Game of Life, number 11. I think that's undervalued. I know it's based on sales, and it's had 50 million all time.
I figured it might be up there. That's weird.
But I think you can interchange Rummikub and the Game of Life. Both have 50 million plus sales. That's all it says. I think we make Game of Life 10.
Yeah. I mean, it has a cereal named after it too, so it's got to be good.
That is true. So, Backyard Baseball is back, essentially. That's what awesome. that topic started. as. And
Now,
then
do
it
you
turns
know, is it
into
going to still be a computer game or will it be platform? Like, can you play it on?
that's what I'm curious to know. I think it needs to stay a computer game, but I would love it if I could play it on my PS5.
Of course.
Like if I could just get the disc or a download and essentially play all of your favorites.
I feel that the
Like,
controls would have to be different because I know you had to use your mouse to click and bat and all that.
yeah, sure. But you can hit X, right? X to bat, and maybe it's
Right,
just
but
like
it's all in the batter's box where you're going to be
right.
trying
Yeah.
to hit at.
But
So
it's kind of like MLB The Show, right? MLB The Show is similar to what Backyard Baseball
you
started
use
as.
your arrow buttons and stuff to do that, I suppose.
So I'd like it to stay a computer game. I like the aspect of that, and we all still have computers. It's not like it's a thing of the past now.
Right.
The computers have just evolved. I think it needs to be something though that you can download like safely from the Mac store, the Windows store, whatever. It can't be a disc. Nobody has a disc drive.
I think they made a mobile game out of it.
So I never got the mobile game. I only ever had the disc.
Gotcha.
I haven't seen a mobile game for Backyard Baseball, but that's not to say that it doesn't exist.
I'm doing it. Looking it up. See if they got it for Android anyway.
Yeah. If it's for anything, it's for Apple.
It's got it. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
But Backyard Baseball is back. I'm excited about it. I will, as Cam said, he'll take down anybody in backgammon. I'll take down anybody in Backyard Baseball. That is
Bring
my
it.
jam.
Let's
I
go.
love that game, and I can't wait
Accepting
to see.
all challengers right now.
I can't wait to see how it evolves. Another game that I played with my in-laws over the weekend. It was kind of a weird game. It was a sports scenarios game. Like if you put 10 guys in a room and don't give them anything, they will entertain themselves for a full 24 hours, no doubt. They don't need anything in their hands. They don't need to watch anything. You don't even need to give them a ball. I know people say give a guy a ball, they can entertain themselves for a week. But if you put 10 guys in a room and played this game, it would take 5 hours of the time. And you can play tons of games like this. But the game was because we were watching golf at the time, and Scotty Scheffler was on TV. Scotty Scheffler, one of the best to play the game right now. And I looked at my in-laws and my brother, and I said, if Scotty Scheffler was a baseball player today, like who would he be? Who would he represent? And names were just starting to fly. And then I would argue, like I was devil's advocate in this game. So my brothers threw out Mike Trout right away. And I said, well, Scotty Scheffler wins, and he wins a lot. Mike Trout, though he may be the best player in baseball when he's healthy, he doesn't win. Like, I know it's a team game, but you still have to win. Now, individually, does he win? Sure. And then you can probably make the case of, well, golf, individual sport, this or individual award. But I was just thinking, like, full picture. You have to name. Bryce Harper's name came next. And I'm like, well, how I would argue Bryce Harper is he was such a big name coming out of high school. And Scotty Scheffler wasn't a big name when he got to the tour. Like, did he become a big name? Sure. But Harper's always been a big name. And like, when you think about it, you're like, man, now I got to keep like going down the list of like, who is this person? Who is he? Who is he not? And we never got to a for sure answer, but I think I had a name in mind that I'll throw out. And I'd love to know if Cam, you can argue it. And I know you're not a huge baseball person,
sure.
so it may be hard, but even anybody in the comments,
Yeah.
the name I threw out was Freddie Freeman. Okay. Freddie Freeman, 8-time All-Star. He won the World Series in 2021. He was NL MVP in 2020. He's been MLB first team twice, MLB second team 3 times. He's won 3 Silver Sluggers, the Babe Ruth Award, the Hank Aaron Award, and he has a Gold Glove. But he's like Mr. Reliable. Freddie Freeman, like you know exactly what you're going to get out of a guy like Freddie Freeman. And he's a little bit like out of shape. And so is Scotty Scheffler. So it's like, man, if I could come up with a name, that's the best I came up with. But I'd be curious to know if anybody else had a better name out there to compete, because Scotty's won a ton. If we look at his list, Scotty's won multiple Masters now. He's got multiple green jackets. He's also won the U.S. Open. Or I'm sorry. He's tied for second in the U.S. Open. He's tied for second in the PGA Championship. He's tied for seventh in the Open Championship. He's got 12 wins on the PGA Tour. So this is somebody that professionally, 16 wins since he turned pro, and that was in 2018. So it's 2024 now. 16 wins, pretty good. And it all started to come like of recent. And like all of the things about Freddie Freeman were like recent, 2021, 2020, all of the all-stars. I'm like, I think I got it. I think Freddie Freeman is Scotty Scheffler.
So I'll say that I misunderstood the assignment a little bit. Just a little bit. But check it out. So I was like, you texted me earlier. We discussed a little bit. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I just looked at the picture. I'm like, who does he look like? For sure.
Oh, right? Even better. I love that you went this way.
So I just picked out 3 that I thought were pretty good. Right. So you obviously got Jay Leno with the chin.
Jay Leno.
and then also going on the chin thing, you got Quagmire. He looks like a human version of Quagmire from the Family Guy.
All right.
Giggity. And then again, it's the shape of his face. It's Buzz Lightyear. The human version.
Yes, the new Buzz Lightyear.
Haircut, the whole nine, right? So those are the 3. And then now, since you've explained the situation to me, I think I have it in both looks and accomplishments. Now, my guy is not necessarily currently accomplishing things.
Okay.
But he's done a lot in his career, and that would be Peyton Manning. I think he looks like Peyton Manning, and also,
man, you do him dirty with that forehead.
Hey, what he lacks in forehead, he makes up in chin, and vice versa.
I want to see Scotty without a hat on. No, yeah, I want to know if you looked up Scotty without a hat and you thought,
he just got a nice little comb over, not a comb over.
But his forehead isn't small, so I mean, it's not.
It's mostly
like you could show a movie on Peyton Manning's forehead. I don't know if you could do that on Scotty Scheffler's.
Yeah, we're going to see Jurassic Park in theaters, or the outdoor theater at Peyton Manning's head. Yeah.
Pretty good, Cam. Pretty good.
That's now, not bad, right?
Let's think about this for a moment, because you went football. Now I got to think about football for Scotty Scheffler. So recent success that came in, like I think Mahomes is too high of a bar to reach for Scheffler.
Because he got second in the whatever you were talking about, the Masters, and
so he got the Masters twice.
The Masters twice. We got second and tied for second in other ones, right?
Yes, tied for second in like the PGA Championship, Open Championship, all that shit. Open he got 7th.
We could go like a Josh Allen at that point, or a Joe Burrow.
Maybe, but like Josh Allen. See, this is what's hard. Josh Allen hasn't won a Super Bowl. Josh Allen may be really good, but he hasn't won a Super Bowl. Joe Burrow's only got in second once. And I'm thinking like recent success, and it's hard to kind of separate away from Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs because they've won the Super Bowl so many times. You can't do Brady because not. That's
Brady.
Tiger Woods.
Tiger Woods, yeah, exactly.
The closest comp I have would be of a Mahomes success, but if we take a different player, like what if we took like Tyreek Hill?
Okay.
Tyreek Hill is somebody that's won with the Chiefs,
gone to the promised land, but also done pretty well on his own with the Dolphins recently.
And Tyreek Hill, also somebody that got into the NFL and wasn't like carrying a lot of hype.
Mm-hmm.
5th round pick. So now we're looking a little bit like we're kind of aligning more. First team All-Pro 5 times, 8-time Pro Bowler, NFL receiving yards leader 2023. He was the co-leader that year. 2010's All-Decade team. If we made an All-Decade team for golf right now, Scotty Scheffler would be on it. I think Tyreek Hill isn't a bad bad way to go.
I'll go with you on that.
Tyreek Hill, also somebody that just separates him from like the rest of the pack. Like he's one of the best to do it, just like Scotty Scheffler. I think it's Tyreek Hill. I think we land there.
Lock it in.
So just weird things that guys do, right? Is there anything else that you can think of, Cam, that are just like weird things that guys do? Another thing that I know is you tell me a football player, Patrick Mahomes, and then somebody else yells Texas Tech, where he goes to where he went to college.
Right.
You yell out Travis Kelce, Cincinnati.
Yeah.
You yell out, I mean, you can even go older, Peyton Manning, Tennessee. You could do that for hours with guys.
You could.
And you could just cycle through sports. It's not just football. It's basketball, it's baseball, it's everything.
Yeah.
Is there another thing that you can just like think of? If it's not a sports thing, that's cool too. But it's just you put 10 guys in a room and they could kill 24 hours with another one of these games.
Yeah, it'd be drinking stories and the dumb stuff they've done while drinking.
Yeah, I've done
whether it be legally involved or otherwise. I'm sure they could come up with a bunch of good stories of the dumb stuff we've done and funny, hilarious things that we've done. Yeah, that would definitely be on high up on that list of could kill multiple hours of time.
And you know what we could do? This is the guy's brain already working, and I'm a golden retriever, so I'm always chasing the tennis ball. What you could do with this is turn that into Cards Against Humanity. Okay. Oh. So Cam, your prompt is funniest drinking story. Okay. Mm-hmm. You hear out everybody's drinking story, and then you choose which one's the funniest, and whoever gets like the first to like 3 cards wins.
I think we got something there. Let's trademark that.
We should.
Yeah.
Air trademark.
Yeah. Done. Nobody can take that. We got that. That's our game.
Yep. I think we should just call the game like Things Guys Do.
Things Guys
and we just come up with those prompts. We just put them out. And then like if it is the college game, right? You start with me and you as the person are the player, right? Patrick Mahomes, I have to say Texas Tech. And then you just keep going in a circle and whoever it stops on, they're out. And then you just keep going in a circle if they can't figure it out.
I'm into it.
Things Guys Do. That's the game.
That's going to be top 10 on the list very shortly of the top 10 greatest selling games of all time.
I just put it in our chat. Nobody steal that idea.
Yeah, it's
and
ours.
If you do, at least give us royalties on it.
He did. He actually texted me about
it. Yeah, I did. I locked it in. I don't even know how easy or hard this will be to create. But you know what? I know somebody that's a great resource. And this somebody is AI. And they can help us. They can help us create all the prompts.
You generate prompts all day for that thing.
We're on to something. Like this is Cam and Andrew's multi-million-dollar idea.
I think we got it. Yeah.
I don't know if it's maybe multi-$100 idea.
Yeah, we'll sell a couple for sure.
And we'll charge. We'll be reasonably priced.
Yeah.
Just a solid $8.95.
And then once we'll get on Shark Tank and boom, we're off and running.
Mark Cuban would definitely invest.
Yeah.
He's a total guys guy.
Total. Although, he's actually not on the show anymore.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, not only is he on the show, not on the show, I think he has girls. Does he have a boy?
I don't know. I know he has girls. He always talks about them
and I think Damon has girls too. Maybe Robert. Robert seems like our type of guy.
Robert or Mr. Wonderful.
Well, Mr. Wonderful will just try to cut us at our knees.
Right. He'll get a royalty out of it or something.
Yeah, and I don't need that. But Hurrdat, I mean, if I can say that last name 10 times fast, like that's one of the things guys do.
Or hey, even sometimes, I mean, I think A-Rod stopped by a couple of times as a guest shark.
That'd be fun.
Let's get A-Rod.
Him or DJ? Somebody. Their cheater is DJ. Oh, not from Full House for anybody out there that was thinking I was thinking of the oldest sister. But she's got a lot of money too, so maybe she'll invest in things guys do.
We'll take all the money.
We'll take anybody's money. The last thing that I wanted to touch base on before we close things down for the day. Cam.
Andrew.
Actually, I got to say 2 things.
Okay.
The first thing is, and I'm gonna pull this up. You're gonna find this video on Hurrdat Sports. You're also going to see it or get reaction of it on the podcast here. So I'm gonna give you dual reactions to this. Cam, there's somebody by the name of Danny Jansen. Okay. Danny Jansen is a former Blue Jay. Okay. He used to play baseball for the Toronto Blue Jays, and that was this season. Okay. In that game, Jansen was starting at catcher. Okay.
Okay.
He played it out. They didn't finish the game though, because for whatever reason, it got delayed, rescheduled. Okay. So Jansen then ended up getting traded to the Red Sox after that game had happened. But the game got rescheduled to Monday night.
And was it against the Red Sox?
It was against the Red Sox.
What?
And Danny Jansen played in that game. He started for the Red Sox. So he's the first person in Major League history to start for both teams in the same game.
That is fantastic.
How nuts is that?
I'm happy for that guy.
I mean, just a fun fact I needed to throw out there.
That's so awesome.
He took the field for Boston.
Did he score
after a rain-delayed game and started for Toronto in that game in June before he was traded to the Red Sox?
Did he score points in either of those games for either side?
I have to go back and look at the June game.
Yeah.
But look at the highlights last night, Cam. Just look at the highlights and see Dan Jansen in action. And it was such a talking point. I mean, you can't bury that. It was such a huge talking point.
Give that guy an award just for being the only guy after over 120 years of the sport being very popular in America as a professional sport. The first guy to do it. That's amazing.
Yes, I'm going to read this to you. This came from ESPN, August 26th. Okay, so this was Monday afternoon, before the game. Jansen became the first major leaguer to ever appear on both sides of the baseball box score when he took the field for Boston on Monday in the resumption of a rain-delayed game he started for Toronto in June before he was traded. This is how it went down. Pinch hitting for Danny Jansen, Dalton Varsho, Red Sox media relations coordinator Perez announced in the press box before the first pitch Monday afternoon, which came 65 days, 18 hours, and 35 minutes after the game was suspended by rain. Defensive changes. Danny Jansen now at catcher. How awesome is that?
That's fantastic.
That is so cool. So you'll see my reaction to that also on Hurrdat Sports, but I needed to share that on the show just because, I mean, how can you not?
How could you not?
How can you not?
It's This Week in Sports, man. That's what we're doing.
It really is this week in sports.
Sports history.
And the last thing I wanted to get to today was we had our fantasy draft.
We did.
Cam, myself, and Brandon somehow all on the same team.
We're the same team.
I don't know how this happened. I think Brandon really screwed up because Cam didn't get to draft Joe Burrow.
He invited too many people.
Which is shocking. He invited too many people. And then on draft day, he's asking me if I can take over somebody's team, which is impossible to do because if he tries to give me that team's login, then I have to use that person's login all season, or he can transfer the team to me, but then you got to push back the draft time. But it's the draft time everybody already agreed upon. So Brandon, let's just say he didn't have all his ducks in a row when he put together this fantasy draft. So we're all on the same team.
All right. So I like to say I wasn't available for the draft. So who we got?
Nor was I. So I'm going to read you the text messages between Brandon and I of that day. Okay. And then I'll tell you who we have on the team. So he texts me. This is so funny. I'm at work. I'm working my job at the high school here in St. Louis. So I'm in the midst of work, but then I'm like, well, I can take some time off for fantasy. 10:28 on a Thursday. Draft is starting now. Thought I texted you about it. I'm sorry. That's how this started. I didn't even know the draft was happening until this point. I said, oh, all good. We on the same team? I believe you have your own team. I said, sheesh. I didn't sign up or anything. I said, what platform? He said, ESPN. I said, you send me a sign-up link? He said, unless someone is impersonating you, I thought so. I said, yeah, I haven't signed up. Is Andy playing? Question mark. Maybe getting confused there. He goes, it was Andy. I said, look at the bottom of your shoe, man. Andy is written on the bottom of your shoe. I didn't actually say that.
There's a snake in my
He followed that up with, you, me, and Cam are on a team then, so it works out great. I said, it worked out great. How does this work out great? 3 people are co-managing a team.
Oh, man.
He said, any players you want, and I won't be able to switch because Sasha can't do her team. I said, any and all Bears. That's who I want on our team.
Yeah. Also, I'll just say any and all Chiefs, and we'll be calling it good. So yeah, go ahead,
So
Brandon.
he goes, right now, we have A.J. Brown and Amon-Ra St. Brown. I go, we started? You already have two people on the team and you didn't ask?
And they're both named Brown? It's going to get confusing.
Oh, my goodness.
Come on.
So then he said, what running backs do you want? I said, depends on who's available. When we come around, hit me up. He said, James Cook, A-Chain, Rashad White, Kamara. We got H-Chain. That's what he said. I didn't even get to respond. He told me the running backs, and he drafted somebody. I said, I love White. The other two I'm whatever on. Give me the tight ends and quarterbacks you want. Right now, there's Kamara, Kenneth Walker, Stevenson, Aaron Jones. You just told me to give you the tight ends and quarterbacks that I want. And then you told me the running backs available.
Running backs, yeah.
I said Andrews roughly in the 6th, McBride in the 6th. Try to stack one with Lamar or Kyler. He goes, okay, we got Kenneth Walker. I thought we were talking about quarterbacks and tight ends.
He is all over the board. This is still the text thread, the same one?
Text thread. I go, let's go. I think it was more of our sarcastic let's go. He said, Mahomes may be available. Do you want him? He said, Jalen Hurts might be too. And then he followed that up with, okay, Hurts is gone. I said, yes on Mahomes. He's gone. He's gone? You told me he was available.
It's the 4th round by now, right? Mahomes has got to be off the board quick.
So he says, what about DJ Moore? Back to wide receivers, I guess. I said, love DJ. He's a Bear. I said, you may have to get Burrow just because Cam is one of our managers. He said, QBs are flying right now. Burrow is gone. I said, wait then for like Caleb or Jaden Daniels. Take advantage of this moment with a wide receiver and running back. He said, might get Trey McBride right now. Don't love Aaron Jones or Stevenson unless you want one of them. Anthony Richardson also available. I just said, would agree. I said, I just give quarterback some time. Take AR or if you want, take Anthony Richardson. I'm cool with whatever. McBride is ours. Went with the gut. I said, love it. So he sent me the team. This is who we have on the team.
This is our roster.
Okay.
I like it.
No, I'm sorry. I take that back. He sent me the guys available.
Okay.
So he sent me the top guys of quarterbacks and all the running backs. I said, take White, then Swift. Zamir White, then Swift. He said, both gone. I said, what quarterbacks do you like? Or I said, what do the quarterbacks look like? He said, love Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams. I said, what if we take Scary Terry here, Terry McLaurin, wide receiver for Washington, and then we stack him with Jaden Daniels? He says, locking it in. We need a backup running back. I said, steal Jonathan Brooks. I will be avoiding the Titans backfield. Where did that come from? Jonathan Brooks plays for Carolina. He said, Austin Eckler, Javonte Williams, Zach Moss, Ezekiel, Najee Harris is available. He said, Najee first, then Eckler, I guess. Maybe Javonte. Okay, we got Eckler. Okay, could be worse. Need a bounce back here. So would you rather have Jaden Daniels or Caleb? I said, try to steal both. I said, I'm down for that. We will get Caleb Williams, is what he says. I said, did we miss Jaden? He said, yeah. Anna Ambrose stole her from us.
Oh, good job, Anna.
Stole him from us. So then, think we drafted back a tight end, filled the last 2 bench spots. I said, did we get Caleb? You didn't answer. Who's our quarterback? He said, yes, we got Caleb. I said, send me the look of our team. So he sends me.
So
here's our team at this point.
This is the list. Okay.
And I'm just going to read you the following because I don't need to keep going through this because it's just my head started to hurt. I know I read a lot of that, but my head just really hurt. So our team is Caleb Williams, Devon Achane, Kenneth Walker, Amon-Ra St. Brown, A.J. Brown, Trey McBride, DJ Moore. Pretty good lineup. No lie. Pretty good lineup.
Yeah.
Lions defense, which that could be interchangeable throughout weeks just based on matchups. And Evan McPherson is our kicker. On the bench, Calvin Ridley, Scary Terry, Austin Eckler, Nick Chubb, We got Nick Chubb. Pretty cool steal. And Tua. And then Brandon followed that up by saying, everyone is mad about 5 bench spots. I'm gonna totally rat him out right now. I'm gonna rat him out. I'm throwing him under the bus. I'm totally snitching.
Oh no.
He said, I did this for our advantage of being waiver wire merchants. I'm like,
oh, Brandon.
I said, for all of those, mad. I said something else, but for all of those female dogging it, I said, just hit him with a big wah, wah. Our team's pretty good. Fantasy football's fun.
I think we got, after all of that, I'm glad we came out on it somewhere on top.
Fantasy football is very fun. But if you haven't had your fantasy football drafts yet, you need to real soon because the football season is approaching.
Sunday.
NFL first kickoff.
All right, it's Thursday.
NFL kickoff. Well, let's just type in NFL season opener.
Thursday, right?
NFL season opener. Well, I know for a fact it's the Baltimore
Chiefs
Words
Ravens.
are hard. The Baltimore Ravens against the Chiefs.
Yeah.
And that is taking place September 5th. So not this week, but next.
Okay.
This week's college football. Next week is the start of the NFL season. But if you haven't had your draft yet, here's how it probably should go. If we're going 1 to 10 picks in a league where people are doing it the right way and not just totally screwing things up, here's how I think the draft should go. The number 1 pick is Christian McCaffrey. Don't overthink that. Even if you think he's going to get hurt at some point throughout the year, he will win you more weeks than he'll lose you. Christian McCaffrey is that pick. And if you pass on him to take CeeDee Lamb now that he has a contract, which congrats to him, another worst kept secret in all of football that CeeDee Lamb was going to get his contract. CeeDee Lamb, don't just go CeeDee Lamb, Tyreek Hill, whatever. Christian McCaffrey is the number 1 pick. And if you think otherwise, I feel sorry for you. Just hammer that. That's how you go. Number 1 pick in all formats, Christian McCaffrey. Number 2 pick is CeeDee Lamb. And it's for a lot of reasons, but CeeDee Lamb ate last year. He'll continue to eat in that wide receiver room. CeeDee Lamb is number 2 on the list. Tyreek Hill is number 3. Tyreek Hill is also a guy that will just get you points. I don't care how loaded that Miami team is. You don't pass on Tyreek Hill at the 3rd pick. Number 4 is here where I would actually reach a little bit and take Bijan Robinson. Bijan Robinson is on a much better team now, and I would select Bijan over Breece Hall because Bijan offers a little more stability in terms of he closed out the year as one of the best runners in football last year. Bijan Robinson would be my number 4 pick. Number 5 on my list would then be Breece Hall. Because I don't think you can get better value at running back and you can wait on the turn to get better receiving value. I mean, Devontae Adams is going at like 15th in most drafts toward the back end. So I would take him at that number 5 spot. And then at 6, I would go Amon-Ra St. Brown. I love how hard of a worker he is, and I love how that team is compiled. Jared Goff will keep feeding the man. Amon-Ra will get his points. He's a PPR machine. He may not end up in the end zone all that much, but he's the type of guy that will get you 8-9 catches a game, and he's just a PPR fiend. I like Amon-Ra at the 6th spot. People may say Chase. People may say Jefferson. I prefer Amon-Ra, and then I would go Chase at 7. Jamar Chase is due for a bounce-back year. They opened up room by getting rid of Tyler Boyd. It's just him and T. Higgins and a few rookies. Joe Burrow will lean on him heavily. I go him at 7. I'm down on Justin Jefferson. I know he's a stud. I know Justin Jefferson is an absolute beast. They don't have J.J. McCarthy this year. Even if they had J.J. McCarthy, I think J.J. McCarthy is so-so. He was just on a good Michigan football team last year. He didn't do anything special, though, to win me over. So I'm not putting Justin Jefferson as the next guy to go here. Believe it or not, I am going to up the ante here in draft position. Am I on 8 here, Cam, or 7?
7.
7? I'm going to up the ante here, and I'm going to do A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown is just that type of guy that is just special. He's a big body receiver. Jalen Hurts and him have had a connection for years now. He's somebody that I would take before Jefferson. In fact, I'd take Garrett Wilson before Justin Jefferson in drafts. Garrett Wilson's a machine. And with Aaron Rodgers healthy, he will continue to be a machine. He was a machine last year when Aaron Rodgers got hurt 4 plays into the season. Garrett Wilson runs a 4.3. He can absolutely cook DBs. He's somebody that I like more than Jefferson. And then I would go Jefferson next on the wide receivers list. But and that's because I think Puka is just rated too high. I think Puka should drop below those tiers of receivers. But would I draft him in that order? No. Okay. So if I had the 7th pick, I said I'd take A.J. Brown, correct?
Yeah.
I would then take Jonathan Taylor at 8. Jonathan Taylor is another one that separates himself from the rest of he's a top tier running back. Maybe he's a top 2nd tier running back, but I like Jonathan Taylor here. And if I could swing on the turn, maybe a Saquon Barkley, I close out my running back room and I'm feeling pretty special about who I have. I'm not mad about that. But then I would go Justin Jefferson. So it would be that situation of Garrett Wilson or Jonathan Taylor after Garrett Wilson, right? Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Or did I have Garrett Wilson after? I think I had Garrett Wilson above.
Garrett Wilson above.
And then I would have Jonathan Taylor at 9, right?
Yep, there you go.
Jonathan Taylor at 9. And then I would go running back receiver at 10 and 11, no matter how it looks. I'd probably go Justin Jefferson, and then I would probably go – I like Saquon Barkley. I really do. I like him more than I like Kyren Williams and Derrick Henry, even though they're rated ahead. That's how I think the top 10 should go in your –
stay healthy, though?
I do. And I think he's on a better team. I think he's stronger this year. I think Saquon looks – I mean, he moves differently. That dude, his lateral movement is unbelievable. So that's how I would round out the top 10 of fantasy football. And I think that's how we should round out the show.
I like it.
So when we come back on Thursday, a lot of Husker coverage and a lot of college football action. We will get to that then. Thanks for joining us on Rogers Rules. We'll see you next time.